And that's what happened is I had to wait for the dog almost to get right to me before I could shoot the bear. And
Hey folks, I'd like you to meet Jim, an 82-year-old trapper, jet boater, and outdoorsman. Jim and his wife are the real deal, living full-time on their remote, no-access trap line. The only neighbor was wildlife, and sometimes the only visitor, an angry or hungry predator. Let's hear some of those stories now. Take it away, Jim.
we were sitting in the cabin one day, and me and Beatrice, and we heard the dog barking outside. And every time every bark she had was a different tone.
Uh-huh.
Kind of knew what. If she was chasing the chicken, she had one sound, and if she's chasing something else, it's another sound. And anyway, this was kind of a different sound, so we thought we better go have a look. And we went out the back door of the cabin. I looked to my right, and there's Lady was the name of the dog, and she's coming at me wide open. Well, I grabbed my 30-30 that sits in the porch all the time, and grabbed my 30-30 as I went out the door because I knew there was some issue with outside, and I look up, and here's the dog coming, and the bear is right behind the dog. So I thought, my thought process was, well, I'll just turn around and go back inside the porch and close the door. Well, I turned, and guess who's Snoopy behind me? My missus. She's standing there, and she blocked my escape routes. Now I have to deal with the issue in front of me because I don't have no place to run anymore, eh?
Uh-huh.
So up comes the 30-30, but I can't shoot because the dog and the bear are almost knotted together. They're coming at me. And so I got to almost let the dog come past me before I can shoot this bear, eh?
Yeah.
And that's what happened is I had to wait for the dog almost to get right to me before I could shoot the bear. And I pulled the trigger, and the dog went piling into the corner beside me, and the bear went the other direction, and which didn't go very far, but some pretty tense moments in that bear encounter.
How close was he when you pulled the trigger? What was the distance?
10 feet, maybe.
10 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and run wide open.
And then, so that veered him off.
It's a wonder it didn't tumble at my feet.
How far did he go before he died?
Oh, maybe 30 feet the other way.
That's it, eh? And
Just managed to turn when he got hit. And
yeah.
Yeah, both me and Beatrice were piled into the corner. It's a corner we were in for the back porch was.
Oh, yeah, you were backing up. You managed to back up into there.
And Beatrice and me were right there in the doorway. Yeah, one day I decided that I'd take the axe, and I had a German Shepherd at the time. She'd been with me for a long time. She was her name. And we'll go explore on the hills in behind the cabin. We live in a river bottom, so we got 500 feet of hill behind us. So let's go explore, eh? I hadn't ever been there before, so let's go have a look. And then we were gone about an hour, and all of a sudden there was a bear coming at us. So I decided, seen this bear coming, so did the dog. And guess what? The dog took after the bear, and pretty soon the dog's out of sight and the bear's out of sight, so I whistled for the dog.
Yeah.
And the dog proceeds to come back. Guess what?
Leading the bear.
Yeah, the bear right behind the bear. Bear's behind the dog again.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm looking at an axe, and there's tiny little trees, and I'm thinking, well, black bears climb trees, so I don't know if I got an escape here. So if I got one shot at this, if I need to, I got an axe in my hand, and I guess that's what we're going to have to do. But the dog stopped right beside me, and the bear went round 4 or 5 feet right in front of me. Just kept right on going.
He zoomed right past you.
Yeah.
He was going to eat that dog, but he knew to stay away from you.
Yeah, well, I guess so. He just kept going. I went a little bit like this and said, that was a close call. Yeah, anyway, that's just another story, Spencer. I used to cut a hole in the ice at the cabin, for water for the cabin.
Yeah.
and that was the routine. But sometimes I got lazy because I didn't have an ice auger on the go, so it was quite a big project to cut a hole in up to 3 to 5 feet of ice. So I got lazy and started to use the open sulfur that's below our place, and we could look out the front window and you could see that if it was really cold, it would freeze up, and then if it warmed up a little bit, the sulfur would actually open up water for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So anyway, I had a little gig going down there. I had a path into where the sulfur was, where it come out of the ground in the water. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd go there with my pails and dip it out of the river. There's sulfur there too, but didn't seem to taste the water too much. So.
And it would actually keep that open.
Yes.
That water open, even though, so a little ways away, you're at probably 12, 13 inches of ice or something, right?
Yes, right on the edge where there was enough clear water, no sulfur water was affecting it, where it was mixing.
Yeah.
And so I got to trust this place that I was getting this water. And so I headed out with my 2 garbage cans and my sleigh and my skidoo.
Mm-hmm.
And head down, and Beatrice can see me from the cabin, and I get down there, but it snowed 3 or 4 inches, and the wind had blown and blew my tracks where I'd accessed this water before, so I wasn't really sure about where I should head into this water source, and so I was picking my way, and I finally figured that I was where I was supposed to be. And I started dipping 5-gallon pails. It's pretty light when you put it down, but when you pick it up, go to pick it up, it's pretty heavy to lift out of the water full.
Yeah.
So I'd made 2 trips back to the water pail and the sled, and I feeling pretty secure about what I was doing. So what happened the third trip, I went to lift the pail out of the water full, and the ice gave way underneath me, and I went face first into the water. So the next, I'm totally submerged and blowing bubbles. And when I come to the surface, and I've got Healy Hansons on, I'm all warm and everything, and toques, but everything's soaking wet now. And I went down, and the current's now dragging me downstream in the open water that was there. And I tried to put my feet down. My feet didn't touch. So I finally got turned around a little bit. I floated downstream a ways and then got my feet under me. Mm-hmm. And then I had to walk back to where I fell in and got back on the ice. And I'm totally soaked, so now I go to my sled and head home. And my missus seen me coming back, and she said, and I walked in the door, I'm just dripping. She said, boy, it didn't take long to get water. And I said, nope. So anyway, it was quite an experience. You don't know what, especially when your feet don't touch, and you realize there's more water there than you think there is. And
Scary.
So just things that happen on the trap line.
How far did you have to take your machine back to get back?
Well, it was about 500 yards.
I bet your clothes were frozen stiff.
Getting pretty close. Yeah.
By the time you got there wasn't much dripping anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You're one big ice cube.
Yeah.
Then you stoke the fire and put some soup on.
Get your clothes off and we'll proceed to dry them off. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was having a bath at your place like then, where in wintertime, when you bring water in from the spot, you had open water, and then you'd heat it all up on your...
Yeah, kerosene lamps and hauling water for a bath. And, once a week we'd get the old bathtub going. Yeah.
That's in the old days. You'd have a bath once a week, whether you needed it or not.
Yeah, the old round tubs, And
what are those tin round tubs?
Yeah. That's how I grew up as a kid. That's how we bathed. And when I was a kid, no running water, So same thing, you're hauling water from the local well,
Oh,
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah. And,
another thing that my generation hasn't experienced.
Yeah. There was no everything was outdoor toilets in a small town. Even in Red Deer when I moved there.
Oh, yeah?
12 years old, subdivision we moved into, still had outdoor toilets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seen quite a bit of stuff, Spencer, in my 82 years.
Okay.
How things have evolved, eh? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes, it's interesting. Yeah.
You know,